Hey, what's up YouTube? Your boy Chris. I'm out in the Caliente garage. In this video, I will install some HeliBar risers that I picked up for my 21 Honda Goldwing. So now that I have installed a custom seat for the Honda Goldwing, I want to make my riding position a little bit more comfortable. With the HeliBar risers, it'll bring the handlebars 2¼ inches rearward or toward the rider, and it will also raise the handlebars 9/16 taller. So I will install the HeliBar risers, and I will include a link in the description of the video of where you can pick up the HeliBar risers for the Honda Goldwing. So stay tuned to this video, and I will get the HeliBar risers installed. So let's get started. Goldwing Rider, a shadowy flight into the dangerous world of a man who is fearless. A young loner on a crusade to champion the cause in a world of reckless automobiles. These are my motovlogs. Looking at the front of the Honda Goldwing, before we can install the HeliBar risers, we have to remove the center console. To remove the center console, we're going to have to take out these little push pins. You have one on the front left, and also on the other side there's a push pin. So we got to get the push pins out, and we got to lift up on this plastic so we can slide the center console out of position. So let's go ahead and get the push pins removed. So on the front left, I need to remove that push pin. I'm just going to push in on the center of the push pin. And we also have a push pin on the front right. So I'm just going to push in on that push pin. Reach in with my finger, being careful not to lose that push pin. And now the push pin is out. Now that I have the push pins out on the front right and on the front left, now I can reach in and pull up on the plastic panel. Pop that side out. I'm gonna do the same to the other side. Now that I have the panels lifted up, now I can access that 5mm Allen bolt and also another plastic push pin. I'm gonna do the same on the other side. So now I can lift up on this left panel and take out this 5mm bolt, and it's the same on the right and the left side. There's the 5mm bolt. Now that I have removed on the left and the right the 5mm bolt and the two front plastic push pins, now I can slide the center console forward, and now I can lift up on it. Just gonna lay down a towel so I don't scratch. Now I have the center console lifted out of the way. Now I can remove these two Phillips screws to take out this plastic piece that sits on top of the handlebars. Just two Phillips screws. Just want to remove those two Phillips screws. Being careful not to lose the screws, and now I can lift up on the plastic cover. It just snaps out of place. Just 2 Phillips screws underneath. Now that I have the plastic cover removed from over the handlebars, I'm going to loosen the 8mm bolt on the right side that holds the mounting clip. I'm just going to unloosen it, slide it over just a little bit, and tighten it back down. Just enough to give it a little turn. That only holds the clip that holds the lines. So I loosened that 8mm bolt and just kind of turn the mounting bracket and tighten it back down. Now I can take my 14mm and now I can take off these 4 top bolts. I'm going to do one side at a time. I'm going to start on the left side. I'm going to break the other side. On the HeliBars, it has the indicator whether it's right or left side. So now we're working on the left side. So we're going to take out these 2 bolts. We're going to put on the HeliBar mounts, and then we're going to use the bolts from the provided kit. So I'm going to hold the handlebar with one hand. I'm going to take out the OEM bolt on the left side. Take out the second OEM bolt. Now I can kind of just move it out of the way. Now I can take back the left, and now I can take the left HeliBar mount. I'm just going to bolt that down. Being careful not to pinch the wires. I'm going to take my 8mm Allen, hand tighten it down. I'm going to take 2 of my button head screws. Being careful not to drop the bolt down in the Honda hellhole or you'll never find it. And it's best to do this with another set of hands if you have another set of hands. Just going to leave that loose until I can get the cables set in place. I'm going to take my 6mm Allen and bolt it down, and I'm just going to hand tighten it for now. So now that I've done the left handlebar, I'm going to do the right handlebar. Same process. We're going to be putting on the right HeliBar mount. It has an R to let you know it's the right side. The mounting bolt will be the M10 by 1.25 by 25mm. So we're basically taking out the OEM bolt and using the provided bolts that came in the kit. It has big slots and small slots. The mounting bolts will be for the big slots, like so. And then we have 2 button screws that will go back to actually mount the handlebars back to the bike. So it's going to look like so, right and left side. This is how it's going to look. It's best to have a second set of hands when you're doing this. It makes it a lot easier. So I'm going to take out these 2 OEM 14mm bolts using a braking bar. And I just want to loosen it. I don't want to take it out just yet. And like I said, it's best to use another set of hands. If you have another set of hands, it'll make it a lot easier. If you don't have a second set of hands, make sure you hold the handlebars. There's the OEM bolt. Take out the second OEM bolt. Now I can take my right HeliBar mount, hand tighten it, take my second bolt, I'm basically going to hand tighten it for now. Now I can place this handlebar back on top of the HeliBar mount. I'm going to loosen that cable mount up all the way. We're going to drop in one button screw. And I'm using a 6mm Allen. I'm just going to hand tighten it just to get it started. I'm going to drop in a second provided button screw. Kind of lifting up on the handlebars as I bolt it down, or as I hand tighten it down. And I'm just going to leave these cables loose until I finish tightening everything down. Making sure, being careful not to pinch any of the wires. So now that I have everything mounted up, I have to tighten all the bolts back down to 20 foot-pounds. It even tells you right there on the HeliBars. Also in the directions, it'll tell you 20 foot-pounds. So I have everything hand tightened just to get everything started. And now I can begin the process of putting everything back down to 20 foot-pounds. I'm going to take out this one bolt. That way I can access this bottom mounting bolt. I'm going to tighten everything down to where I think it needs to be, and then I'll come back with the torque wrench. Before I can put back the snap that holds the center console, I'm gonna have to lift it up. To lift it up, I got two bolts, one on each side, one at the top, one at the bottom, that we need to loosen, lift up on this bracket, and then tighten these back down. Now that I've tightened up the two bolts that holds this bracket, now I can put back the center console. So inside of the directions is a template. I need to take the template out, lay it on the plastic cover, and outline it, and then make my cuts. And just cut out the template. So now we can, since I have the DCT model, I'm going to follow the solid lines. So I'm going to take my template and I'm going to follow the solid lines. Like so. So now I can cut along the outline that I traced out, and then we'll reinstall it back on the Honda Goldwing. To make the outline cuts that I drew out, I'm going to take these heavy duty shears and attempt to cut along the lines with my heavy duty shears. So just going to follow my outline. I'll take my time. Just going to cut along my like so. Just kind of take your time. I'm just going to follow along. These shears are very sharp. So let's see if this is going to work. Need to cut just a little bit more off on the edge. It's perfect on that side. Gotta take off a little bit more. Now I can put back the screws. Making sure nothing is pinching, everything is good. Nothing is pinching, everything is tight. Now I can flip back over the console and slide it back into place. Making sure all of the wires are not pinching. I snapped it down, now I can bring it back. I can put back the 5mm bolts that hold the console. Put back the two push pins on the front of the console. Just gonna pull them out to get them reset. Gonna put back the plastic push pins. Put back the front plastic push pin first. Now I can come back with the fat push pin for the front of the console. So the thing I like about the HeliBars is that now it brings that handlebar 2¼ inches toward the rider, and it lifts the handlebars 9/16. So now that I have the custom seat installed, this should make the riding position more comfortable, which is recommended by Corbin. So I will be doing a later review letting you guys know what I think about the HeliBar risers that I installed on the Honda Goldwing. If you like this video, drop a comment and be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I will talk to you guys later. See you.